escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape, let's escape.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of Borderlands 3 painting miniatures. Today we are going to paint Moxxi. Now this one was definitely very harder, a lot harder than Claptrap. But I will say this, there's one thing that definitely made a huge difference is the surface primer. So if you didn't know, when I painted Claptrap in the previous episode, I actually didn't do any surface primer on Claptrap. I just straight up painted him. And it was really hard to get the paint to stick. I'm not quite sure what these miniatures are made of. I want to say they're definitely, I don't think they're plastic. They kind of feel like metal, but then they don't. So it's really weird. I'm not quite sure what they're made of. But the Claptrap was definitely hard without primer on. I mean, I could definitely tell a difference. Because as you can see, I primed Moxxi in this white surface primer. And it made it such a big difference. The paint was so much easier to get on Moxxi. So moving forward, I'm definitely going to be doing that. And like I said, I'm very new to painting miniatures. I've been trying to watch a lot of videos on techniques and stuff, so it's a whole learning process for me. So it's just trial, error, and a lot of practice. So I bought a white primer and a gray primer, and I learned that there's like the three main ones are white, gray, and black, and depending on the look that you're going for, white is supposed to bring out, you know, brighter colors. Black is for dark, if you are painting a dark figure and you're going to have a lot of dark colors, and then gray is like the in-between. So I figured I'd just use the white and the gray for now. But I'm going to go over some of the colors that I use for her, and I'll put all the names down below in the description box so you guys can see. So for the red on her skirt, the red part of her skirt, I used a Heraldic red. And it's from the MSP Bones, Master Series Paint Bones. I got a whole bunch of their paints and I love it. It's really good. For the brown, or I should say the silver, for her silver boots, I used a blade steel and it came out really well. I was happy with that. For her the like trim in her skirt that's brown, I used a rich leather brown. For the black that I used around her belt, I put a little bit of black around like where the bullets are and around her belt buckle and just random spots like that. I used a dragon black. For her face, because Moxxi has that like clown looking face kind of where it's like whited out, I used a bleached linen. So I wanted to use a white, but I didn't want it to be like pure white. So I figured bleached linen would be the best bet because it would give that kind of, you know, not pure white, but like a cooler white. And then for the white on her buttons on her little jacket or her skirt or shirt or whatever it is, I used a pure dragon white, which came out very well. It really makes the buttons on her dress stand out. For her skin, we used a Youthful flesh. So Moxxi, you know, I wanted her to look as attractive as possible. So I wanted to use the Youthful flesh to give her that really like young looking skin tone. For the trim, for the gold trim that you see around her skirt and on her feather, I used a dragon gold and it came out really good. The dragon gold around the trim of the skirt, it really makes it pop. The red and the dragon gold look so good together. I love how that part came out. For the feather in her hat, The one of the feathers I did dragon gold. The other feather I used a like turquoise color. It's called Spectral Glow. And I also used the Spectral Glow on the star button that's on her dress. There's a couple white buttons, and then one of the buttons is actually in the shape of a star. It might be kind of hard to pick up on camera, but I used the Spectral Glow on that. For her eyes, her face, oh my gosh, her face was so hard to do. This was my first time ever painting a face, and it was brutal. I was dreading it the whole time too. As I was painting everything, I saved the face for last because it was like, I really don't want to paint the face. I was dreading it so bad. So for her eyes, I used a cat's eye green because I wanted to give her green eyes. And the face didn't come out too bad, surprisingly. I spent probably an hour on the face. I mean, I did it, and then there was like a tiny imperfection that I didn't like. So then I ended up going back and trying to fix it, and I ended up making it worse. I can't tell you how many times I tried to make it better, and I only ended up making the face worse. And I've come to the conclusion that that's going to be my biggest problem with painting miniatures, is that I'm like a perfectionist, and I'm going to look at something and it's not going to look exactly how I want it. Like I want it to be perfect, and I'm going to keep going back to it to try and make it perfect, only to mess it up. So that's one of the big things I'm going to have to learn, is when enough is enough and to just let it go and let it be. So that's definitely one thing I'm going to have to learn. But other than that, the face came out pretty good. It's definitely not, it could be a lot better, but I think I did pretty good. I used the Heraldic red, I believe. No, I think I used cinnamon red for her lips. I used the dragon black to do her little eyebrow. And then for the little 2 pink dots around her cheeks, they're like blush, I guess, I use a pink monster maw. It's not like pure pink. It's called monster maw, and it came out really good. It kind of looks like a pink blush or something. Another thing that was really hard with her face is her face, half of her face has her hair hanging over it. So the one side I could get, the right side I could get her face, but the left side of her face was really, really hard to do. Like I think I did like a very tiny little dot for her left eyebrow because I just couldn't get underneath of it, because the way her hair is in the miniature, it's like over her face. So the left side of her face was extremely hard to paint. But I'm really happy with how it came out for it being my second miniature ever painted. I'm pretty happy with it. Also, moving forward, I found some better camera angles. So moving forward, we're going to have a overhead top view camera angle, and I'm going to have my GoPro set up. And in this video, I was recording with my phone. So the autofocus, as you can see, a lot of the times the autofocus comes out and it kind of makes the miniature look blurry. But it looks so much better when I have the GoPro, because I'm working right now. I'm working on Lilith. So Lilith is going to be our next miniature. She's going to be in episode 3 that we paint. And I'm using the GoPro to capture the painting of her. And it looks so much better on the GoPro. It's, clearer, and it's not so autofocus in and out. You know what I mean? So that'll be good for the next episode. So moving forward, I'm going to do that. I did 2 washes. I used the flesh tone for her skin wash, and then I also used a black wash to get in the crevices to make her hair more detailed and her belt and stuff like that. The only issue I had with the skin wash is I kind of made the skin wash a little, I don't know, I guess I went too heavy on it, because part of her skin is very like blotchy. The legs came out good. Her legs look good with the flesh shade. But when I did like her upper chest and her arms, and even her back is a little blotchy, I noticed that when it dried up and it was done, she had like these little like skin splotches all over her. So I think it was because I didn't paint it enough. I didn't let the water run down it. I kind of didn't paint it down enough. So again, it's another learning thing that I'm gonna have to practice and just get used to. So hopefully when we do Lilith, we can do better with her skin tone with that wash. So until then, my friends, I will see y'all in tomorrow's video where we will paint Lilith. Enjoy the rest of the video. Please hit that subscribe button for more painting miniature content. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. I appreciate it. And I will see y'all in tomorrow's video where we will paint Lilith, the Firehawk. Peace.
I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.